We are joined right now by FBI Special Agent Garret O'Boyle, a client of the American Center for Law and Justice. It seems like when there's individuals like you and these other whistleblowers that have come out from the FBI, that there are a lot of good people inside the FBI who are just scared to speak out, and that if we can make sure they're protected, that we can right the wrongs that we see inside the agency, and the FBI could get back on track. I mean, I think that's the hope that the American people want to feel.
That's the hope that I have. Granted, the more I talk to former colleagues and people in the FBI, the more it seems that they are just so afraid. You know, I even told them that ACLJ is taking me on as a client. And I said, the time is now. You guys can all start coming forward. We have the legal capability. We have the connections to Congress. Like, everybody needs to be whistleblowing about the things they're seeing, because I'm sure what me and others have done, we're just scratching the surface.
You get this dream job at the FBI as a special agent. Over those 4 years, you received the highest annual review an employee can receive. You were selected to a special FBI SWAT team for a new unit the FBI created. But then you felt like you started to see things that were going wrong inside the FBI. Tell people about kind of what was the impetus to say, you know what, I've got to speak out. What were you seeing?
It started with the EDU officials threat tag. So in most mainstream media outlets, they call it like a school board threat tag. And a different whistleblower, I think actually there were multiple whistleblowers who brought that forward. That's when I first learned of that. And then that's one of the things that I ended up disclosing to Congress further. Congressman Jim Jordan touched on it at my testimony. And based on what he said, he thinks that that is the reason they retaliated against me so hard. But there were a couple other things that I whistleblew as well once I was in touch with Congress, because it was, it wasn't daily, but every now and then there was an email we would get, or, an order we would get, or a new threat tag. Like there was another one, threats to SCOTUS 2022. This was in light of the Dobbs decision that reversed Roe v. Wade that came out. And in the guidance for that threat tag, it essentially flipped who we should be looking at and investigating. Because if there's a threat to a Supreme Court justice, that's a violation of federal law. Yeah, the FBI should be looking into that and investigating that. But in the guidance, it basically said to start looking into pro-life adherence.
A big announcement right now. We are representing a second whistleblower from the FBI. You remember him, Marcus Allen. He blew the whistle on the weaponization of the FBI and the targeting of conservatives. After retiring from the military, joins the FBI. Logan was the FBI Employee of the Year in 2019 in his Charlotte, North Carolina field office.
I think we should actually hear from...
Can I add one more thing?
Yes, go ahead.
He has the top. He had top security clearance.
Yeah, top secret security clearance.
The top.
Let's hear him talk about that. This is when he was doing his testifying about this statement. So I think you need to hear from these guys directly.
As the holder of a top secret security clearance since 2001, I've been trusted with the nation's greatest secrets. So why am I here today? Despite my history of unblemished service to the United States, the FBI suspended my security clearance, accusing me of actually being disloyal to my country. This outrageous and insulting accusation is based on unsubstantiated accusations that I hold conspiratorial views regarding the events of January 6, 2021, and that I allegedly sympathize with criminal conduct. I do not.
I'm so proud to represent these kind of Americans because, Logan, for so long it's felt like we've lost the FBI, we've lost the IRS, we've lost the Department of Justice. And maybe because of this, and it's what Agent O'Boyle said earlier in the broadcast, he said, now that I've got the ACLJ behind me, I'm telling my friends something different. Before, in his FBI testimony, he said, I would tell my friends probably not to do this because the FBI will crush you. Yeah. I'll do it for you. Give me the information. But he kind of reversed course and said, now that I've got a group the size of the ACLJ standing beside me, I can go to my friends inside the FBI and say, guys, this is the time
blow the whistle.
To blow the whistle. Folks, realize the strength of the ACLJ right there. The strength of the ACLJ that starts with you. It ends with the team that we're able to assemble. But it starts with your financial contributions so that we can assemble that team that then makes someone like Garret O'Boyle feel like, you know what? At that testimony, I feel like I'm getting crushed. And I would tell my friends, no. Now I'm telling them, we've got the ACLJ. Let's all come out and tell them how weaponized these agencies have become.